My girlfriend suddenly started saying, "If you propose to me, you'll only embarrass yourself. I'm leaving you." I didn't argue or say anything. I just stayed quiet and walked away. But her new man treated her in such a way that now she's searching for the same peace she once had with me. I'm 26, and up until 3 months ago, I thought I had my life figured out. I had a girlfriend of 4 years, Elena, who I genuinely believed was the one. We'd met in college, moved in together after graduation, and built what I thought was a solid relationship. Nothing flashy, nothing perfect, but real. We had routines. Friday movie nights, Sunday morning pancakes, inside jokes that made us laugh until our stomachs hurt. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. I worked in IT support, paid my half of everything, and was saving up for something bigger. The proposal idea had been forming in my head for about 6 months. I'd been looking at rings online, talking to her dad casually about marriage, trying to gauge the right moment. I wanted it to be special, but not over the top. Something that felt like us. Then one night, everything shattered. We were sitting on the couch after dinner. I'd made pasta, nothing fancy, and we were watching some reality show she liked. I wasn't really paying attention to the TV. I was thinking about the ring I'd finally picked out, wondering if I should wait until her birthday next month or maybe do it sooner. My heart was racing just thinking about it. Then Elena's phone buzzed. She picked it up, smiled at something on the screen, and typed back quickly. This had been happening a lot lately, but I'd brushed it off. She'd told me it was her coworker, Vanessa, who was going through a breakup and needed constant support. I believed her because why wouldn't I? But that night, something in her expression made me uneasy. There was this secretive little smile, the kind you have when you're talking to someone who makes your pulse quicken. "Who's that?" I asked casually. "Just Vanessa," she said without looking up. "She doing okay?" "Yeah, better. She's thinking about trying that new sushi place downtown." "Cool. Maybe we could go with her sometime." Elena's fingers stopped moving on her phone. She looked at me then, and I saw something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Annoyance. Maybe even contempt. "Actually," she said slowly, putting her phone face down on her lap, "I need to talk to you about something." My stomach dropped. Those words never mean anything good. "Okay," I said, muting the TV. "What's up?" She took a deep breath, and I could see her choosing her words carefully. "I don't think this is working anymore." I stared at her. "What do you mean? Us? This? I feel like we've grown apart. Elena, we literally went to that concert together last weekend. We had an amazing time." "What are you talking about?" She shook her head. "That's not what I mean. I'm talking about where we're going. Our future. I don't see it anymore." The words felt like punches. Where is this coming from? Did something happen? No, nothing happened. I've just been thinking a lot lately, and I realized I want different things. I want someone who's more ambitious, someone who's going somewhere. You're comfortable, and that's fine, but I need more. I felt my face get hot. Comfortable? I work hard. I'm saving money. I was literally planning to. To what? She interrupted. Propose? Is that what you were going to say? I froze. She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. I knew it, she said. I could tell you were building up to something. And honestly, if you propose to me, you'll only embarrass yourself. I'm leaving you. The room went silent except for the muted TV flickering in the background. I opened my mouth, then closed it. What was there to say? She'd just destroyed 4 years in about 3 sentences. Who is he? I finally asked. Her face went pale. What? Who's the guy you're texting? There's no guy. This is about us. Don't lie to me, Elena. I'm not stupid. You've been different for weeks. Just tell me the truth. She looked away, and I had my answer. His name is Carter, she said quietly. He's in finance. I met him at that networking event I went to last month. I nodded slowly, feeling numb. And you've been seeing him. We've just been talking. Nothing physical has happened. Yet. She didn't deny it. I stood up. My legs felt shaky, but I made myself walk to our bedroom. I could hear her calling after me, saying something about how we could still be friends, how she hoped I'd understand eventually. I pulled out the duffel bag from the closet and started throwing clothes into it. What are you doing? She asked from the doorway. Leaving. Isn't that what you want? I meant I would leave. This is your apartment too. I don't care. I can't be here right now. I grabbed my laptop, chargers, toiletries, whatever I could fit. The whole time, she just stood there watching. When I zipped up the bag and walked past her, she grabbed my arm. I'm sorry, she said, and there were actually tears in her eyes. I didn't want to hurt you. I looked at her hand on my arm, then at her face. You knew exactly what this would do. You just didn't care enough not to do it. I pulled free and walked out. I stayed at my friend Brian's place that night, sleeping on his couch, staring at the ceiling until dawn. Update 1. The next 2 weeks were brutal. Brian let me crash with him while I figured out my living situation. Elena kept texting me about dividing our stuff, asking when I'd come get my things, being weirdly practical about the whole breakup, like she was checking items off a list. I ignored most of her messages. Then I started seeing the Instagram posts. Elena and Carter. At restaurants I'd always wanted to take her to, but she'd said were too expensive. At a weekend trip to Napa Valley. Her in a new dress, him in a suit. Both of them looking like they belonged in a magazine spread. The captions were subtle but pointed. Finally feeling alive. Living my best life. When you know, you know. Each post felt like she was twisting the knife deeper. My friends noticed. Brian would physically take my phone away when I started scrolling. Bro, you need to stop torturing yourself, he'd say. But I couldn't help it. I wanted to see what I'd lost. Or maybe I wanted to confirm that she was as shallow as she'd revealed herself to be. About 3 weeks after the breakup, I finally went back to the apartment to get the rest of my stuff. Elena had texted that she'd be out all day, so I wouldn't have to see her. I was grateful for that at least. The place looked different. Cleaner maybe. More decorated. There were new throw pillows on the couch, fancy candles on the coffee table, things that screamed, I have money to waste now. I tried not to look too closely as I packed up my books, my gaming console, the framed photo of my parents that had sat on the shelf. I was almost done when I heard the door open. My heart jumped into my throat. Elena walked in, but she wasn't alone. Carter was with her. He was tall, wearing an expensive-looking jacket, hair perfectly styled. He looked like every finance bro I'd ever seen in downtown restaurants, talking too loudly about crypto and returns. Oh, Elena said, stopping short when she saw me. I thought you'd be gone by now. Almost done, I said, not looking at Carter. There was an awkward silence. Then Carter stepped forward, extending his hand. Hey man, I'm Carter. Look, no hard feelings, right? These things just happen sometimes. I looked at his outstretched hand like it was a dead fish. Yeah, they do. He dropped his hand, getting the message. Elena stepped between us. We should go, she said to Carter. Let him finish. But Carter wasn't done. You know, Elena told me about you. Sounds like you're a good guy. You'll find someone who's a better fit. The condescension in his voice made my blood boil. Thanks for the advice. Carter, come on, Elena said, tugging his arm. As they walked past me toward the bedroom, I heard Carter say, just loud enough for me to hear, you weren't kidding. This place needed an upgrade. I finished packing in 5 minutes and left. I didn't slam the door. I didn't say goodbye. I just walked out and drove to my new studio apartment across town, a place I'd signed a lease for the day before. It was smaller, older, but it was mine. No memories. No ghosts. Update 2. 2 months passed. I threw myself into work, picked up extra projects, started going to the gym with Brian. Slowly, the pain started to dull. I wasn't over it, but I was getting there. I deleted Elena from all social media, blocked her number except for emails about the final apartment bills we needed to settle. Then one Friday night, I was out with Brian and some coworkers at a bar downtown. We were celebrating someone's promotion, and I was actually having a decent time for once. I'd even been talking to a woman named Lydia who worked in marketing at a company nearby. Nothing serious, just conversation, but it felt good to connect with someone new. That's when I saw her. Elena was at a table near the back with a group of people I didn't recognize. She looked different. Thinner, maybe. Her makeup was heavier, her dress more revealing than she usually wore. And she looked tired. Not physically tired, but emotionally exhausted in a way I recognized from my own mirror. Carter was next to her, but he wasn't paying attention to her. He was leaning close to another woman, laughing at something she said, his hand on the back of her chair in a way that looked way too familiar. Elena kept trying to join their conversation, but they'd barely glance at her before continuing. It was like watching someone slowly realize they're invisible. Our eyes met across the bar. She went pale, then quickly looked away, saying something to Carter. He didn't respond, still focused on the other woman. Isn't that Elena? Brian asked, following my gaze. Yeah. Damn. She looks rough. He was right. The Instagram posts had been one thing, but seeing her in person was different. This wasn't someone living their best life. This was someone drowning and pretending they knew how to swim. I turned back to Lydia, determined not to let Elena ruin my night. But I couldn't stop glancing over. After about 20 minutes, Elena got up and headed toward the bathrooms. She walked right past our table, and for a second, I thought she'd stop. She didn't. But her expression said everything. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed. An email from an address I didn't recognize, but I knew it was her. I saw you tonight. You looked happy. I'm glad. I made a mistake. I know that now. Can we talk? I stared at the message for a long time. Brian leaned over. Is that her? Yeah. What are you going to do? I thought about everything. The breakup, the humiliation, the Instagram posts, Carter's condescending handshake, the way she'd looked tonight at that table. Then I thought about Lydia's laugh, my new apartment, the gym sessions where I was finally feeling strong again. I deleted the email and put my phone away. Nothing, I said. I'm not doing anything. Update 3. But Elena didn't stop. Over the next 2 weeks, the emails kept coming. She'd created a new email address after I blocked the first one. Then another when I blocked that one too. They started desperate. Please, I just need 5 minutes. I need to explain. Carter isn't who I thought he was. I was so stupid. I miss what we had. I miss you. Then they turned angry. You could at least respond. I deserve that much. I see you're active on Facebook. You can't even reply to me. This is really immature. I'm trying to apologize. Finally, they got manipulative. I've been having panic attacks. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I need closure. My therapist says I need to talk to you to move forward. If you ever cared about me at all, you'll meet with me. I didn't respond to any of them. But I won't lie and say it didn't affect me. There's something insidious about someone who hurt you badly now claiming they're the victim. It messes with your head. Then one evening, she showed up at my apartment building. I was coming back from the gym when I saw her sitting on the steps outside. She stood up when she saw me, and I could see she'd been crying. Elena, you can't be here. I know. I'm sorry, but you won't answer me, and I'm losing my mind. That's not my problem. Please. She stepped closer. Just give me 10 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I should have walked past her. I should have gone inside and called the building manager if she didn't leave. But there was a part of me, some stupid part, that still remembered 4 years of good times before everything went wrong. 10 minutes, I said. Out here. We sat on the steps. It was getting cold, and she wrapped her arms around herself. Carter's cheating on me, she said quietly. Multiple women. I found messages on his phone 2 weeks ago. When I confronted him, he laughed. He told me I was being dramatic, that I knew what I was signing up for when I chose him. I didn't say anything. He's mean, she continued. Not at first, but once he knew I wasn't going anywhere, he changed. He criticizes everything about me. My job, my friends, how I dress, how I talk. He's out until 3 a.m. most nights and won't tell me where he's been. When I ask questions, he makes me feel crazy for asking. She wiped her eyes. I know what I did to you. I know I destroyed something good because I wanted something that looked shinier. I was an idiot. Why are you telling me this? Because I need you to know that I understand now. What I had with you, that peace, that safety, that actually matters. You never made me feel small. You never played games. And I threw it away like it was nothing. She looked at me with those same eyes that used to make my heart race. I'm asking for another chance. Not right now. I know that's impossible. But eventually, once I've gotten myself together, can you at least tell me there's a possibility? I took a deep breath, watching a car drive past on the street. Elena, I'm going to say this as kindly as I can. No, there's no possibility. Not now, not eventually, not ever. But you said it yourself the night you left. You want someone ambitious, someone who's going places. That's not me. I'm still the same guy I was 3 months ago. Same job, same life, same level of comfortable. That wasn't enough for you. Nothing's changed. I've changed. I know what matters now. No, you're just hurting now. There's a difference. You don't miss me. You miss not feeling like shit. And I'm not going to be your safe backup plan until the next Carter comes along with a bigger paycheck and better stories. She started crying harder. That's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. None of this has been fair. But that's how it is. I stood up. I hope you figure your life out. I genuinely do. But it's not going to be with me. I walked into my building and didn't look back. I heard her calling my name once, but I kept walking. Final update. It's been 4 months since that conversation on the steps. Elena finally stopped trying to contact me after that night. I heard through mutual friends that she and Carter broke up about a month after she came to my apartment. Apparently, he'd already moved on to someone else before their relationship officially ended, and Elena found out through Instagram, of all places. The same platform she'd used to parade their relationship became the place where she discovered its ugly truth. She moved back in with her parents according to Jessica, a mutual friend who still talks to both of us. She's apparently taking time to work on herself and figure out what she really wants. Jessica tells me Elena asks about me sometimes, casual questions about how I'm doing, if I'm seeing anyone. Jessica knows better than to give her details. As for me, I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. Lydia and I have been dating for 2 months now. It's early, and we're taking things slow, but it's easy in a way my relationship with Elena never was. There's no games, no guessing, no wondering if I'm enough. Lydia works in marketing, has her own apartment, splits checks without making it weird, and actually seems to enjoy the quiet Friday nights as much as the fancy date nights. I still think about Elena sometimes. Not in a I want her back way, but more in a I can't believe that happened way. The whole thing feels surreal now, like it happened to someone else. How do you spend 4 years building a life with someone, only to have them tell you they were settling the whole time? But mostly, I think about the lesson in all of this. Elena didn't leave because I wasn't good enough. She left because she thought she could do better, and she measured better in all the wrong ways. Money, status, excitement, the kind of relationship that looks impressive from the outside. She traded substance for flash and discovered too late that flash burns out fast. The irony is, Carter probably did her a favor. If she'd ended up with someone who treated her well, someone ambitious who also happened to be kind, she might never have realized what she'd given up. But Carter showed her exactly what happens when you prioritize the wrong things. When you choose someone because of what they have instead of who they are. I hope she learns from it. I hope she figures out what actually matters and finds someone who appreciates her for real. But it won't be me. I'm done being anyone's, if only I'd realized story. I'm done being the comfortable option that someone settles for, or, worse, the safe choice they return to after their exciting option crashes and burns. Life's too short to be someone's backup plan. I deserve to be someone's first choice, their only choice. And honestly, so does everyone else. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if I ever found out how serious things got between Elena and Carter before she officially left me. I didn't want to know the details then, and I don't want to know now. Whether she physically cheated or just emotionally checked out doesn't change the outcome. She chose him over me while we were still together, and that's all that matters. Edit 2. Someone asked about the ring. I returned it 2 days after the breakup and used the money for the deposit on my new place. Best decision I made. Edit 3. To everyone saying I should have heard Elena out more or given her another chance. I appreciate that some of you believe in second chances, but this wasn't a mistake. This was a series of calculated decisions she made over weeks, maybe months. She didn't accidentally fall into another relationship. She chose it, flaunted it, and only regretted it when it blew up in her face. That's not growth. That's consequence.